Hey guys, so in the first video, let's learn about how you can start investing and why to invest. Now, typically, what happens is a lot of us who earn salary or who are in business, we get money in our bank account. Now, most of the time, we keep money in our bank account. If it's a saving account, we get about 3 to 4% yearly return. If it's we can also do fixed deposit where we get a return of 6% or 7%, that is fixed. Now those are great instrument when you're starting out and you don't want to, you want an easy way to start investing. But if you're really looking forward to create a wealth, you should start looking at other avenue of investment. Those are mutual funds, debt funds, which are equity fund and debt fund. I'll talk about them in detail in a bit. Then you can also buy direct stocks like the companies like HDFC Bank, Fiverr, Google. You feel like they are going to grow, you can actually invest in those company stock. So basically you buy a stock and you hold it for few years or few months, and then you sell them at a profit. Now these are the some simple and easy way to start investing. Another few common and most used way of investing is you buy a real estate property and you hope that it appreciate. Similarly, you buy gold, and gold is another great medium to hedge when the market is going down, and gold prices usually go up because it is considered as safe haven. Similarly, the real estate investment, even if it does not increase, it is often used as a hedge because you have a physical property and you can sell it at any time when you need money. Now we'll look into real estate as an investment in the upcoming part of this podcast. But for now, most of the retail investor is somebody like you or me who are, who earn a salary or who have a business. Well, we invest usually using fixed deposit, or sometimes we often buy policies from the bank. Usually the bank people recommend us that, like, hey, we have this policy and if you can buy. Now a lot of us actually make this mistake of buying these policies because we want to have a better relationship with our bankers. Now first thing first, stop using your bank as an investment vehicle, because the policies that you buy from bank, they have a huge expense ratio. Like the moment you start investing with them, they will cut like probably first one or two EMI as an expense. There's a lot of extra charges which you may not be aware of, and eventually after 10 to 20 years this eats your profit by a significant margin, right? So apart from that, you need to have few things like health insurance, because that is one place where you, if one of such situation come when you actually have to hospitalize somebody, be it you or somebody from your family, it may cost you a significant portion of your wealth and you may end up losing a significant portion. And similarly, another thing that you need is the life insurance. So let's say you are the only sole bread earner of your family, and if something happens to you, what will happen to your family? Well, in this situation, when you have a life insurance, it basically covers, like whatever the premium you pay, you are covered for that particular amount, and your family will get that money if something bad happens to us. And this is a very good way to start planning your finances. So there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. Number one, that you should have a health insurance. So imagine like the COVID-19 is creating chaos around the globe, and if something happens to you or one of your family member, I hope it does not, but if something happens, then your health insurance will ensure that you do not end up losing all your savings. Similarly, if something bad happens because of this virus, well, the life insurance covers ensures that your family is well taken care of in absence of you or me, right? So that is one way. Now second is, if you are still holding a lot of money on your bank account using the saving bank account or simply by fixed deposit, well, it's time that you should start putting that money into the market. And right now is a great time to invest in market. We'll dwell into that in a quick bit in the next episode. But for now, you need to understand that the fixed deposit earning that you get is not always the best. Apart from that, if you're running a business account like a current account, and the current account does not pay any kind of interest, so basically whatever the money is kept there, you are earning 0%. And if you're holding that money for more than a year, you are basically losing the money because of the inflation. Now let's understand inflation with a simple example. So the money that you have right now, let's say you have 100 rupees right now, and if you want to buy, let's say Coca-Cola, which cost about 100 rupees today, now after a year, usually the cost of Coca-Cola will be increased by 5 to 7%, and that's what inflation is. So if you have 100 rupees right now and you want to buy cola after a year, you would be actually needing about 107 rupees if you consider that inflation is about 7%. Usually overall inflation can vary from 5 to 6%, but for certain product it could be as high as 10 to 20%. For example, movie hall, like if you go to watch movie, you'll realize that every year the increment is about 15 to 20%, which is significant. So the point is, when we are investing in the market, we need to ensure that we are getting more interest rate than the inflation. If you are getting the same interest rate as inflation, for example in fixed deposit, but you end up paying taxes on that, well, you are not really growing your money. It may look like that you have invested 1 lakh rupees and now you have like 1 lakh 7,000 rupees or something, but that is not the real growth. The real growth is when you are beating the inflation. And then there are instrument which, like mutual fund, which gives you about 10 to 15% return, but that requires you to stay invested for more than 5 to 7 years. And there are some hidden nuggets that a lot of advisor would not tell you, since I don't get anything out of it, because my goal here is to help you understand how all this medium works. So rest assured you'll get very unbiased suggestion from me, right? So with that, so that's one way to plan your personal finance. Another way is something which is very popular these days, and something which I've learned from my my guide on this, Abhishek Mahta, is the goal-based investing. And that actually ensures that you will have money in your bank account when you need in the milestone of your life. For example, if you're planning to educate your children, like you want to send your children to US for studying, now with the current rate, it's about 1.5 CR. Now, after 18 years, the same education would cost about 8.5 CR or somewhat around 8 CR. Now, similarly, if after 2 years you plan to go for an international trip, you may be needing 15 lakh rupees in your bank account, right? As I said, the mutual fund investment is for more than 5 years to 7 year horizon. Now, if you need money in 2 to 3 years, what would you do? You can put money in your, like the saving bank account or fixed deposit. Or there is another better way, is called debt fund. And we'll look into debt fund in a quick bit. Now we'll talk about goal-based investing in the upcoming section of this podcast. But for now, I thought of giving you a little primer about personal finance, how we invest, and what are the other revenues that are available to us. With that, I will see you in the next podcast. If you like this podcast, do like and subscribe. It would help us to reach to the right people. See you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.